What is going on, guys? My name is Justin, and today we got a project on my 2015 Grom that I just got. And most of you know that stock headlight is absolute dog crap. So today we're going to fix that with the help of the RetroFitSource Motorcycle Projector Kit. And yeah, let's find out what's in the box and get this thing going. So first thing we got is the Mac Daddy of it all. We got the projector kit, we got the lock rings, so help with all that stuff. And then, oh man, this thing is beautiful. Whew. Got the box, boom. Oh, look at that beautiful thing. And then right off the top of that, we're gonna have the shroud. This is the Gatling Gun 2.0. Whew. Okay, next up is going to be the Halo Kit. It is a switchback, but since I only have one projector, I can't really use the switchback option. Would be cool, but I can't really use it. I'm going with the 6500 HID bulb. I had it in my ruckus, and I was all right with it. And then, if anything, I can buy another bulb from them for like 20 bucks. And then we have the igniter, which is super high quality. Like, the sheathing on that, the cord just feels sturdy, and that huge igniter for it. And for the brains of it all, we got the HID Ballast, which, whew, is this thing hefty. Hefty, hefty, hefty. You got all metal build, metal bracket. Ooh, that thing is nice. And we got the wiring harness. I might have to shorten it up just because it's made for a car. So, might have to shorten it up to go to the headlight. Yeah. And now, I also forgot the most important part. We got the packing slip. Ooh, fancy. Some wet wipes to clean the bulb. Business card. And that's like 10 other horsepower right there. Morimoto sticker and instructions, which I'm a man, so that stuff goes in the trash. Boom! Now we get to take the headlight off, bake it, and start cutting stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with this whole taking the headlight off step by step, because if you don't know how to take your headlight off, I doubt you're going to be doing a retrofit. So look it up on the forums or look it up on YouTube on how to take this headlight off. It's pretty self-explanatory. Next, what we need to do is remove all the wiring and blinkers and everything. I'm trying to pretty much isolate the headlight itself so we can put it in the oven and take the lens off. So we got the headlight off. It's super simple. And now we need to get inside, mainly because it's cold as crap, but two, because we need to bake it open for 7 minutes at 275 degrees. And use some screwdrivers to pop it open. We got the oven preheated to 270 degrees, and what you want to do is you want to find your parents' worst cookie sheet, just in case anything with the headlight, plastic, messes it up. You just stick it on there. What you want to do is put it in for 7 minutes. Okay, so since Kyle forgot to press record, it missed me pulling it out. But yeah, just stick your screwdriver in there, get in the little tab and kind of pry it open. I might actually need to re-put it in there now, but it's really hot, so wear gloves. Hot. And yeah. Woo! What you want to do is now set this hot lens somewhere so it won't get scratched. So what I'm going to do is put it over there, and I'm going to let everything cool down for a little bit. So we're back out in the shop now, and just to do a quick little test fit, we're going to put that in the back, and it's just that little tab in the back that's catching it a little bit. So we're going to take the Dremel to it and file it down just a hair so we can get the projector all the way in. I got the projector mounted with the centric rings and lock rings and all that. Just loose for now, just to mock it up for you guys. And then I'm gonna put the shroud on, and ooh. Now what we gotta do is take it all out, clean it, and get her ready for paint. Because I'm not gonna leave her with the chrome insert. I'm gonna go black.
Tomorrow.
So it's the next day, and we got the shroud painted, we got the reflector painted. Now what we need to do is mock up the location for the halo. And there's like a little tab up here. What you need to do is drill 2 tiny little holes in the top of the shroud so you can run a small strand of wire just to hold it up there, and then we're also going to use epoxy around the outside to help secure it. Okay, so we got the holes drilled, and I'm actually going to go against what I said earlier, and I'm actually just going to run the wires through the holes on the actual shroud. Yes, you're going to see it a little bit, but with the way the wires are going to be run, it's going to hit the projector, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. So now we're going to run, this is just 28 gauge Canthal from, you know, those vape ages. I used to do that, I'll admit it. So we're going to run it through the little tab, and then bend it over and feed it through the 2 holes that we drilled earlier. We're just going to do it loosely because we got to put the epoxy around the outside and stick her in, and we'll be good to go. So while we got the epoxy drying on the shroud, we're going to get the projector mounted in the reflector base. So what we're going to do is make sure that the solenoid is at the base, and we're going to put the silicone little grommet washer thing in there first and stick it in the hole. Stick it over. I'm going to grab a towel real quick just to protect that lens. Line that up. You got your little H4 shroud bracket, and you got a little tooth at the top right here. You're gonna line it up with that one on the actual projector itself. Line it up with the holes. Push it all the way down, and take your little lock nut and run her on down. Of course, I can't get it. The other way, and boom, there we go. So we're going to tighten that up so it's nice and snug, and then we'll move on to the next step. So now we have the shroud mounted onto the projector. I just want to double check to make sure the halo still works after installing it, because it was kind of a pain in the butt. So just double check with this test battery. I have it plugged into the harness itself, so dang, look at that. Would you look at that? And now with the lights off, let's see how she looks. Whew, that's bright. We got the lens put on. I couldn't get it on all the way, but that's what the baking is for, to loosen up the sealant stuff. So we're going to put her back in there for 7 minutes. And then after that, we'll get her completely sealed. So it's been 7 minutes now. Let's get this thing out and try not to burn ourselves this time. Trying to push the lens back on. That. Careful, it is hot, so I'm going to grab a towel. Stick it out there. Oh, you hear the clicks? Squeeze her on down. Make sure the clips are pressed in. So yeah, now she's all pressed in. We're going to let her sit for like 30 minutes and go back outside and wire her up. So now we got the wire somewhat mocked up. We got the H4 connector going to the front and the solenoid for the high beams going towards the front. Ballast wire right here to easily get plugged in, and then the power wire going to the back. We're going to put the ballast up underneath the gas tank here then we're going to zip tie this little black box thing to the side of this other wire up under here just to get it out of the way. So before we install the bulb into the projector itself, we got to make sure it's clean. So open up your little alcohol wipe, and then you simply feed it through the back. Go around, just simply go back and forth, spinning it just to make sure you clean all the edges, all that. You don't want any grease or anything on there. Now to insert it, make sure you line up the square on the bulb onto the projector. Let it seat on there, and you can't twist it around. You put the spring to help hold it in place, and your little washer. You gotta kind of push it down to compress the spring. Why isn't it working? Now to mount the igniter, you simply line up the pegs that are on the bulb with the peg openings on the igniter. You gotta push down a little bit and then twist. Now she's locked in there, won't come out. Okay, now we gotta wire up the halo. So we got the power wire coming out of the halo. I already soldered it up right there. Put some heat shrink on there. Then I put some double-sided tape onto the flasher relay. Now I need to get it power. So I'm going to tap this power wire into this pigtail so it's got constant power. And then the ground I'm going to tap into the actual headlight harness just so I can keep all the wiring for the headlight separate. So it's just got three connectors that I'll have to deal with. So we're going to get that done real quick. Finally, after all of this freaking work, we can finally mount this thing back up. And just make sure you run the igniter bulb wire through so we can get it back to the ballast. Set that on there. Plug in the high beam solenoid that we wired up earlier. And then we're going to plug this guy in up here, the main wiring. And this wire up here. And then all we need to plug in now is the high beam wire, which might take a little bit. Might actually have to do that after we get it mounted on. So now let's button her up. Nope. Oh, I almost forgot my little temp gauge wire. Button in there. Put that in. Double check everything, make sure your turn signals are plugged in. Okay. So we got everything buttoned up, headlights installed, and now we just gotta hook up power, and it's time to test her out. So thank you guys for sticking through. I know it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a pain in the butt to edit, but hey, I'll do it for you guys. And honestly, it's been a pain in the butt. As you can tell, if you were paying attention to my sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff, this is probably our 4th day working on it, and whew, been a pain just trying to get the projector level and making sure all the wiring and everything was good. But I wanted to make it a little streamlined for you guys if you're trying to figure out how to actually do the retrofit. I'll also leave a link in the description of a better text walkthrough on how to do it, and that's kind of how I used what I used. But also I'll leave the link to the description on the retrofit kit that I used. Yeah. And if you guys could, just click that little circle right there to subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't like it. But if you give a thumbs down, make sure to leave some feedback on to what I could do better to make it a better video for you guys. So, thank you.